I didn't think I'd be coming back to this so soon. When I talked about it yesterday and I mentioned a small portion about Transformers, Back to the Future Gigawatt, and we kind of just delved a little bit into the financial part of it, and I said I didn't want to talk too much about it because I knew how much of a sore spot it was going to be. But literally after I put out the video, I got tons of messages from people going like, you won't believe what happened after you talked about it. It is being exactly as I imagined and as I predicted. There's certain products in Transformers that I am very easily able to speculate are going to have a secondary market that is going to be abused heavily. And I had this discussion with people on the Discord. I had people private message me through Twitter. It was all over the place. And I knew for a fact that this was going to be very different than that of Ectotron or that of anything that we've had thus far from the crossovers. This Back to the Future thing was going to hit home with a lot of people. It was going to target a lot of different audiences that are not Transformer fans that are going to want it. And worst of all, it's going to target the scalpers. The scalpers, the flippers, the speculators. They were going to look at this and see money. They were going to see a cash grab. Now, the expected MSRP price for this, for this like special edition one, the numbered one, if you will, the expected price on it was supposed to be $35. That's what it was. We don't know if the non-numbered version will be cheaper, but we know that at least the one that comes with the print and the license plate numbering will be $35. Here's where it gets crazy. So the secondary market got slammed. A whole bunch of people scalped it. And here's, you know what? I want to give, first of all, I've talked about this on the podcast in the past, but I'll use this as a platform again. To me, how I define scalping is a little different than how other people perceive it. Obviously, when you buy something to then instantly turn around to flip, people could label that as scalping. That is true. But to me, I usually feel that scalping is really strongly more associated with its old ticket scalping kind of origins back in the day, where ticket scalpers for events, whether it be hockey, baseball, whatever, they buy a fat stack of sold out tickets of desirable seating and then go around selling it. When you buy one ticket and you try to resell it, it's almost, the impact is a lot less. But the people that have been scalping Gigawatt here, two of them that when I look at their history are really not people that are fans of Transformer product. You could just tell they're clearly people that buy multiple of stuff that are desirable, like one individual. I don't want to call out specific usernames because I don't want people attacking them after they listen to my podcast, but like one individual was clearly someone that would go get exclusive Funko Pops of all kinds of different pop culture stuff, Hot Topic exclusive, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and would get multiple of them and then turn around and flip them for profit. People make entire livings doing that. And is it an honorable living? It's debatable, but it is something that people are known for doing. And something like Gigawatt fell into that category where the same kind of people who are not really part of the fandom, but they see the writing is on the wall. This is a cross-promotional product of a extremely popular movie that is a huge part of pop culture based on a car that also has a huge pop culture, I will argue 200% that the DeLorean is way more of an iconic vehicle than that of the Ecto one. Not just from a movie standpoint, but from just a car standpoint. Again, I'm a car guy, I'm a mechanic, so I understand that connection. Maybe there's a bias a little bit in my voice, but I understand why people love the DeLorean, because it's a cool looking car at the end of the day, regardless of its Back to the Future origins. There's just so much going on here. And then you slap onto it a limited number kind of deal, which the Ecto one, by the way, didn't have. And it was just a giant recipe for the scalpers to go, all right, let's ruin this. And let's talk numbers right now. So a whole bunch of them hit eBay. And they've been selling for, keep in mind, MSRP was $35.99. It's been selling for $699. Another one sold for $799. Another one sold for, and I almost don't want to believe this is true, but another one sold for almost $2,000. And I don't want you to hear me say this and use this as a incentive. Well, maybe I should get in on this action. Don't be that guy. Don't be the person who's a part of this. I talk about Transformers finance, investing, speculation all the time on this podcast. But the thing is that I talk about it to give people an understanding of the value of product and how it goes up and down. But at the same time, what you do with that information that I give you is all on you at that point. And right now, if you go to active listings on eBay, it's pretty much the bar in general is $750 and above, going as high as $2,000. Some of them are $1,000. One of them has a bid right now at $750.98. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that we've gotten to this point. I think that it's a little bit of a short-sightedness by Hasbro in that they really shouldn't have done something like this, because people are going to want it. And the reality of it, more than anything, is that not only are people going to want it, but it's more money for you. Now, the flip side of the argument is that, okay, this is the limited one. It has the special license plate number, blah, blah, blah. The mass retail one will not have that problem. You know, that's the belief, that the mass retail one will not have that issue. And there's an Amazon.com listing for Project Future, which was the code name for this. So it shows that this will be available at Amazon through Transformers' actual Amazon account. Same thing for Amazon UK, same thing for Amazon.ca Canada. So there's proof in the pudding right there. This will be available elsewhere. So anyone who's listening, if you don't mind getting a non-numbered version, don't pay for this. Don't pay for this version that, if you don't care if you get the numbered version or not, don't pay $700. Don't do that. Don't encourage this kind of activity. Again, I talk about value on the podcast all the time, but value is more just for your own knowledge. And I usually do that because I tell people, hey, look, this Skywarp and Thundercracker 2-pack, this is going to be worth a lot of money. And when I say that, it's a warning to you to know that if you do want to get it, get it. That way you don't have to regret it laterwards when people are going to be abusing it. It's more for me to tell you that when you're in Walmart or when you're in Toys R Us or wherever you are in the world and you see that product and you knew you wanted to get it, don't sleep on it. Get it then, because those are the scalped products. Like I said, there's people that listen to what I say and they use it for dubious and negative things too, like scalping. But I also try to tell you guys this so it could protect you from scalpers. My thing is that scalping does not happen if there's no market for it. Meaning, it's one thing for guys to ask $700 and us to go, well, I'll never pay that, including me. But it's another thing that there is people that do. And for you to think that there's not people that are going to pay stupid money, you do not understand the open free market of when it comes to these kind of things. I know tons of people just within our own fandom that are really, really, really bad with their money. Just really bad, where it's retail therapy is literally how they get by in life. And this kind of stuff, you don't need to sell to 100 people. You just need a couple of idiots. And already at least 7 of them have sold for over $700. And there's another, half dozen here that are coasting right now at buy it nows and best offers at $750 and above. The cheapest one is almost $500. And it's the lone one. But the reality is that this kind of stuff is just a part of our fandom. You have to understand that the only way to combat it is to not be a part of it, to not encourage that kind of environment. Every single TFCon that ever passes, there's always one or two guys that buy like 5 of the exclusives and then throw them right away on eBay, and then turn around and sell them for like triple the price. And there's always individuals that can't wait. They don't wait for ages 3 and up to get a later assortment of them, or, you know, extra stock, which always happens. You know, they don't wait for like it to show up. You know, patience has always been the virtue, and it's always been the success. But when I say on the podcast, hey, watch out for this kind of stuff, watch out for this product, you guys got to listen. You guys really got to listen. Look, I haven't gotten one yet, but at the same time, I'm not too concerned. I was excited about it. I want to get my hands on it. It's a cool product. I would have loved to get the numbered one. But on the flip side of it, I'm not too concerned, because I'm also the kind of guy that doesn't mind waiting 5 years to own one. And in 5 years, guys like this that picked it up for stupid money, and when you know what they invested, you know also what their downside guarantee is. So you know that at some point they're going to get desperate and try to sell it. The only issue, my only enemy in this game, is the individuals that are willing to pay the stupid money. And while there are not a lot of them, they do exist, and they're walking among us. So you just got to be careful with that. And look, it's unfortunate what's happened. I mean, I'm still getting messages about this. I woke up this morning, and I usually don't like to attach social media to my phone, because if I ever did, my phone would be dead. But I woke up this morning, and the second I rolled out of bed and I opened up Safari to look at just Twitter, because it's the only thing. I don't even have a Twitter app. I just put it on Safari open so I don't have notifications. I opened up Twitter, and it was a goddamn mess. It was just absolutely insane, the amount of private messages I got, and people like going like, oh my God, what you said was true, and, you know, I should have done it. You know, I didn't even see the pre-order. It was only 3 minutes. There was so much going on. But at the end of the day, this is what happens. This is what always happens. This goes back as far as BotCon. All the early BotCons, whoever went to BotCon back in the day, it wasn't one per person. You know, BotCon back in the day, it's like, hey, you want to buy 2? Sure. You want to buy 3? Sure. The Hartmans, they wanted to just move it. They wanted to move the product. They weren't too concerned about oh my God, I hope everyone gets one. They were more like, let's just hope that we move our investment. And as years passed, and then it went into fun publications, they put a limit on it, because they were selling out at one point, especially like when you're talking 2006, 2007, 2008, you know, and 2011 specifically also. Those years where people were killing for those box sets. You know, they learned that you have to do one per customer. You can't allow the scalpers to go nuts on that, because, you know, all of a sudden, like, you know, $350 box sets become $1,000 box sets. They had to put a breaker on it. And this is the same thing that's kind of happening here. Again, it's a shame. It sucks that it's happening, but it is the name of the game, and you got to understand it. The only thing you could do is to not participate in this. Don't pay this, because scalpers will stop doing this if they know there's no money to be made. The only thing that's unfortunate is their downside guarantee is so low that the risk is very minimal. You know, to invest $35 to make $800, that's where sometimes scalpers go, what do I have to lose? $35? Some people spend that in a meal, you know, at a good sit-down restaurant. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think about this. Please tell me that you weren't a part of this. That's the worst part. But there will be opportunities. This is going to show up online. Amazon, EB Games, probably even Toys R Us in Canada too. Opportunities will give itself to this. We will all be able to get it. Don't get into FOMO mode, fear of missing out. Don't get into the FOMO mode. Don't think you're going to miss out on this. Opportunity will show itself. I understand there are people like me, we wanted to get the numbered version too, but you move on to plan B. The opportunity will be there, and we will take it then. I hope you guys Learn something today, and we'll talk again really soon.